Right. Hi, Year 8. This week we are going to review some of the work that we did earlier in the year. If we'd been in school, we'd be starting to prepare for your summer exam now. Obviously, that's not happening at the moment at any rate, so we're going to do the kind of things we would have done, which is to go over stuff. To start the ball rolling, this week we're going to look at algebra. Today, specifically, we're just going to do something nice and simple, collecting terms in an algebraic expression. So I'll just remind you what that means. If I had some algebra written on the page, like so, then it would be called an expression. That is an algebraic expression. It's not an equation because it doesn't have an equal sign. Come back to that later on in the week. But this is an expression. Now, an expression is made up of individual bits of algebra which are called terms. So the whole thing's called an expression, and the individual bits here are called terms. And they come in different sorts. You get things called x terms. I wonder if you can see which ones in there are the x terms. Pretty obvious, really. It's that one and that one. These are not x terms. These are x squared terms. And this is a y term. It's pretty obvious, really, isn't it? Now, when you have some algebra written on the page like that, you can simplify it if the same type of term, appears more than once. So, a couple of x terms there, they appear more than once. Let's put them together to make a single term. 3x take away 5x is minus 2x. We can do the same with the x squareds. 4x squared minus x squared is 3x squared. And then the y term, well, he didn't really have any other partners in the expression. He was by himself anyway, so can't really be simplified, so you just write him on the end like that. Going from there to there is called simplifying. And once you get to this point here, that's as far as you can go. There's nothing more I can do with that expression. I have simplified it. And that's what you're going to be doing today with your questions. You're going to be starting with some algebra and simplifying them. Here's a few of the ones you're going to be doing today. So, that's the basis of what we're doing today. Now, the other thing you're going to have to deal with today is you're going to have to deal with when you get brackets in algebra. So, for example, if you had something like 3x plus 2, then what you're looking at there is an expression. There's nothing wrong with it. It means 4 times all the things in the bracket. You could leave it like that, but often we want to write it so that each of the types of term that are involved in that are by themselves. Okay, and to do that, we call it multiply out the bracket. So each of the things in the bracket gets multiplied by 4 in this case. So we end up with 12x plus 8, like so. That is sometimes not called simplifying, but it's the same idea. Is we're trying to get it so that we've just got some algebra where each of the different types of term are written with plus and minus signs between them. And that's what we've done there. We've started with a bracket and we've gone to that. Now you might recall us using a new way of expanding brackets, which is where you draw some boxes like that, and you put the 4 there, and the 3x and the plus 2 there like that. Okay, well, and then you multiply each of the things appropriate to each box to get the answer 12x plus 8. Okay, so this box method is particularly useful for double brackets, which we'll come to in a minute. Okay, but that's something that you can do you can use if you want, but I'd imagine most of you can do that one in your head. Watch out for minus signs, of course. Let's do one more bracket example, a little bit more complicated this time. So suppose I have something like 3 brackets 2x minus 5y minus 2 y minus 5x. There we go. So a little bit harder this time. I've got a pair of brackets. They're not multiplied together. They have a number in front of each of them. And I'm going to simplify that expression. So I could use boxes for each of them. If I was going to use boxes, the first bracket, I might as well now, I'm doing it now, aren't I? Would look like that. And the second bracket, which would be minus 2 there, would look like that. Well, I've started now, so I might as well do it using the boxes. I mean, you can do it without the boxes if you're good. All right, so if I do that box, I'd get 6x, and that one would be minus 15y. And if I do this box, I'll get minus 2y plus 10x, like that. And all I'd do now is, here, I would just write, actually put equal signs here, really. There we go. I would write out 6x minus 15y, which is that bracket dealt with, and then minus 2y plus 10x, like that. And finally, I would then collect it all together to give me 16x minus 17y. And that would be my final answer for that one there. Okay. I mentioned double brackets, so let's just have a go at one of those. So if you had something like 2x plus 5, 2x minus 6, something like that, then I would strongly recommend you do this one using boxes. So I will do this one using boxes. This time it's a different shape though, because I've got two things multiplied together, each of which has two things in it. Earlier on, these were one thing multiplied by something with two things, so I had a different shape box. Okay, so that's my shape of my box for this one here. And I put the 2x and the plus 5 there, and I put the 2x and the minus 6 there. You should hopefully remember doing all this. We actually used it for something harder than this, which was factorising. We'll come on to that later. Let's just concentrate on this for today. There we are. So if I now write that out, I've got 4x squared minus 12x plus 10x minus 30. And then if I collect all that together, the x's in the middle, because they're the same type of term, I get 4x squared minus 2x minus 30. Right, I have put some super duper hard ones on the exercise. Here they are. Evil extension questions. I'd be really happy if one or two of you had a go at them. I'm not even going to tell you how to do them, to be honest. I will be putting some answers up later. But for now, I'm not even going to show you the answer to any of these questions. I want you to do it. I want you to turn it in as much as you can do in the time that you've got. And then I will mark them or get back to you with the answers or something later on in the day. For now, you're just going to be attempting as many of these as you could do in the time that you have. Okay, and that's it for me for today. So I'll speak to you again next lesson. Bye for now.